Hello and welcome to another episode of Hessy and Maven. I'm Justin.
I'm Raven.
And on this week's episode, we're talking about toys. You know, we just saw the Barbie movie.
It was great.
It was so flippin' good.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pumped at just how good it was and how much of the hype it lived up to.
Yeah.
Because if you're on the right side of the internet, right as in correct,
Yeah.
It had a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I was nervous a little bit that it wouldn't live up to it, and it did. It exceeded it. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, everybody in it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, she didn't let me down.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm her new biggest fan. I'm going to watch everything that she's ever done.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch Lady Bird. I still need... Maybe I need to look up the plot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll Wikipedia the plot
and then I'll watch anything she does.
And then see if
she makes a
should watch
commercial, I'm gonna watch it. Like,
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So freaking good.
Yeah, the movie was great. I love America Ferrera.
Oh, brilliant.
Pretty much support everything she does. It's so funny because after... Sometimes I feel like, you know how sometimes, like, everyone jokes that you say something and then, like, your phone picks it up and you see an ad for it or something?
Yeah.
Sometimes I really feel like I see something and my phone will pick it up and give an ad for it.
Yeah.
Because after we came home and watched from watching the Barbie movie, and in my head I was just like, man, I love America Ferrera. I immediately saw an ad saying that all the seasons of Ugly Betty are on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch it, but
no.
My phone knows that I love America Ferrera.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. Or even like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Technology is scary.
She's also the fat friend in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
The last movie I ever saw her in, me personally, was Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
Was she in the second one?
Yes.
She was, okay.
Yeah, her plotline in this...
I did see both, but the first one is so good.
Her plotline in the second one is essentially like, I'm at college with tall, thin blonde, and
Blake
we
Lively.
both have a crush on the same boy, and boy ends up liking America Ferrera, and everyone is like stunned, like, I can't believe he would like the fat friend. That's so crazy.
Jesus.
Which is so a 2000s tween movie plot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Regardless, I love both those movies. They hold a
Same.
special place in my heart.
They're very good.
Yeah.
The first one especially for me.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies if you can hear Josie in the background. I believe a leaf rolled by the house, and Josie is asserting her dominance, letting her know that she protects this house.
Yeah. Also, this San Pellegrino we're drinking. I know that seltzers are not soda, but I want them to taste like soda.
Yeah,
I
think they
don't.
would just be sodas then.
I know.
Like, you should have gotten cans of orange soda instead of cans of tangerine and wild strawberry seltzer.
I know.
Flavored mineral water.
The reason I got these was because, and it didn't even do the job, because I do the same exact thing, but like when I take big pills, I need to take them with a carbonated drink.
Yeah, you've
because if the drink is carbonated, then I can't feel the pill in my mouth, so it's easier to swallow. But what I do is I open something that's carbonated, take my medicine, and then I don't want the carbonated drink anymore.
Yeah.
So I bought these because I thought the cans were small, but they're not that small.
No.
They're not one sip small.
No, they're not.
So now I'm just stuck with these.
It's a regular Red Bull size, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we leave it, and I forget,
Oh, sorry, Josie.
there was... So, yeah, you were mentioning the plot of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and...
Yes.
Oh my god, the boy likes the fat friend?
Yeah.
No way. And that made me think of... I've never seen the movie, but I've seen clips of that movie Duff.
Yeah, Dumb Ugly Fat Friend, or Designated
Ugly Fat Friend. The girl who plays that role, I feel terrible for her. She is neither fat nor ugly.
No.
And
She's also...
I feel like I cannot imagine being a woman, young girl, anything femme presenting at all, and seeing that and being like, that's the fat ugly friend?
Yup.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I would feel. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you're really secure, or at least you know enough about, like, if you're a little bit older and more mature, you could look at that and be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And just immediately kind of write it off as like, this is dumbass Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah. The girl who plays the main character in Duff is also an excellent actress. She is Meg in the Supernatural series. And
she's good.
She's also one of the main characters in Good Girls, where the 4 moms need money, so they get together to launder money for a drug dealer.
Yeah.
She's in that too. She's a great actress.
She is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that actually brings us in a tangential way into our question of the week.
Wait, she also plays the voice of Katara, I think.
Does she?
Let me confirm, but I'm pretty sure that she plays the voice of Katara.
As Raven pulls that up to see if she plays the voice of Katara, here's what you need to know, gang. This is Hessy and Maven, and we're a podcast, and we're 2 siblings, and we have infinite topics because we hate niches, and we're just going to talk about everything and everything.
I was right. Her name is Mae Whitman.
Mae Whitman plays the voice of Katara. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's the credit everyone should lead with. But so we have a YouTube. We have a podcast. Obviously, you're listening to it, hopefully. Give us 5 stars. And we have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have Threads, we have all the things. We have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. We have all of the things. Check us out. Almost all of them are Hessy and Maven, one word. But even if you go to like YouTube and you type in Hessy and Maven and put spaces or put the ampersand little symbol for and or whatever, we will come up. You'll find us. We do have a new logo that I put out for the month of August, and we'll probably keep it for the rest of the year. It's just a little 6-bit. Shut up. Look at your face. You want to say it so bad. You want to point out all of my flaws and all my mistakes. You're bad. You're a bad friend, Raven. You're like my self-esteem issues. You're an enabler of that demon inside of me. The demon inside of me is like, wow, you cannot talk without making a mistake. And you're sitting on its shoulder going, yeah, tell him. Tell him he's stupid. He says the words wrong. It's so mean. 16-bit, like little cartoon video game character kind of looking things of me and Raven. And Raven looks fucking yoked down. I did that on accident because whatever. It was my first time doing pixel art, guys. Deal with it. But it's fun. And in the background is a cool picture of some dunes in New Jersey with the classic Hessy and Maven title. Anyway, it's cool. Follow us on all the things and send us some questions. Send us topic ideas. Send us your takes on the things that we rank. Do you think they should have been ranked differently? What was on your list of top 5 X, Y, and Z? Like today we're doing top 5 toys from when we grew up specifically. So these are not current toys. At least I don't think so.
90s toys.
Mainly 90s, early 2000s toys.
Mm-hmm.
What were the toys that you played with as a kid? Send us an email. Send us comments on YouTube videos or messages on Instagram or whatever it is, Reach out to us. Let us know. That being said, also, send us questions. Feel free to do the whole, am I the asshole thing where you give us a scenario and we decide if you're the asshole in that story or not, or if the other person is or whoever. Or you can ask us advice on different silly questions. And when you do that, keep in mind... Is that Savannah screaming? Yeah. Babies. When you do send us questions for advice and stuff like that, just understand that we are just 2 normal people having fun, making a podcast. Don't expect any serious advice. I need you to close that door. So the baby. So just, we're having fun with it. And here's a good example. I'm going to bring up one now that we got. And by that, I mean it was on the internet, and I got it. And it's ours, and here it is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The subject is, am I the asshole if I stop paying my daughter's tuition over a disgusting comment she made that was directed at my new girlfriend?
Okay.
My wife died at the young age of 51 from a car accident. I, 56 male, was in deep mourning for about a year after her death. I then met my new girlfriend, C. So, for the sake of anonymity, all the names are just like letters.
Mm-hmm.
C. 43, female, around January. C was the one who made me laugh for the first time after my wife died. She's smart as hell, 3 Ivy League degrees, has a dark sense of humor that I love, is a terrific cook, and is overall an amazing woman who I can imagine spending the rest of my life with. She is also on the heavier side, a fact that becomes relevant later. I have 2 children, E, 25 male, and A, 19 female. They were well aware that I had gotten a new girlfriend before I introduced them to C this summer. She got along immediately with E, the son, and A, the daughter, was very standoffish. After that initial meeting, I asked A if there was something wrong, but she denied it. E and A both came home for Thanksgiving dinner. The dinner was going as well as it could have for the first 10 minutes, although I noticed A glaring at my girlfriend the entire time. When my girlfriend went to grab another helping of mashed potatoes, my daughter made a comment that cruelly ridiculed my girlfriend's size. My girlfriend started sobbing immediately and ran off into the bedroom. I felt my face turn red and told A to get out. About half an hour after A left, I texted her stating that I would no longer pay her tuition unless 1, she apologized to my girlfriend, and 2, my girlfriend accepted her apology. My daughter must have assumed that I was bluffing because she instead doubled down on her behavior during Thanksgiving dinner. I then logged into her university tuitions payment website, canceled her next semester's tuition, and sent my daughter the screenshots. She called me crying and begging me to reconsider, but I told her my mind was made up. Process it.
Interesting.
Digest it. How are you feeling? What is going through your head?
So, I see what is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and I am the first person to tell you that I think it's so, like, it's so easy to go for someone's weight when you're angsty, mean girl energy. Like, you're probably mad because you loved your mom and you don't want your dad to move on, and now he has this new person that he's implying he wants to spend the rest of his life with, and you're just like being bitchy. I've been there, felt it. Younger than 19, but have been there, felt it.
Yeah. Same.
And so you're just like trying to take a stab at her when it's like she didn't really do anything. And then doubling down on it kind of sucks. So that girl is probably like annoying and probably a shitty girl. But I think that not paying for her college is a decision that will impact the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty severe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the punishment fits the crime in this scenario.
I feel you.
I don't know what the punishment should be.
Right.
I don't know if she's living at home. I don't know if she's in a dorm or her own apartment or whatever the case may be. But I think that there should be some type of consequence for that.
Right.
I just don't know what it is. I'm not a parent. I don't really know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this one was interesting because I could kind of see somebody making an argument for either side in different ways. But mainly, I think I came to the same conclusion you had. Yeah, like, forget this girl. This girl is mean, and, like, that's such a shitty thing to say to somebody who, according to this... Now, we all also have to keep in mind, this is all coming from the dad. It's coming from one source. Mm-hmm. We don't have all the information.
Yeah.
For all we know, the girl is like... well, here's the 10 things she said to me before I said that, you know, or whatever. Who knows? But let's take everything with a grain of salt. So, I think, yeah, shitty of you to say that. To make fun of someone's weight as people who have been bullied our lives. Like, it freaking sucks. It is so shitty and so annoying.
Yeah.
And it's just a shitty thing to do. Just don't fucking do that. It's so bad to bully people like that. And then I think absolutely the girl should receive some sort of, she's 19, but like, yeah, the girl should receive some sort of punishment or consequence or something.
Yeah.
but there's so many factors and variables that would change what the punishment, I'm using air quotes, should be, that it's like, I don't know. But not paying for her next semester, like immediately being like, well, you're not going to college. Like, oh, you were mean to my girlfriend and made her cry. Now no school for you. No education.
Yeah.
I'm taking away your education. As if college, like, what a weird, that's a stretch, sir. Like, you jumped the gun on that one.
I could see like, oh, I'm not paying for your cell phone bill or something like that. That I feel like would be like, okay, no texting. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, or something like that.
Yeah.
I could see
5 texts a day.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or no more iPhone. You now have a flip phone. You have a Nokia.
Yeah.
Brick.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So something like that I feel like would be more appropriate.
I agree. I think the punishment is really, really harsh. But I still thought it was pretty interesting because it's not like one side is 100% the asshole and also not 100% innocent either.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And yeah, I just thought that was really interesting.
Just to
give you an idea, so I found this via BuzzFeed, and 62% of votes, and it's about 30,000, 47,000 would be out of about 77,000 votes. 62% said the daughter is the bigger asshole. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But I also bet that BuzzFeed's demographic is like mainly finance bros. Not literally.
Yeah.
Maybe not these days, but that's a pretty old post, so who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Interesting, yeah.
So, unless you have anything else, I think we can just get into it and start talking about our favorite toys from when we were kids.
Yeah.
I think I have some surprising ones on mine.
Okay. I don't think any of mine are surprising.
One is going to blow you away. You're going to be like, what the hell?
Okay.
But we'll see. Cool. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay,
my first one is Play-Doh.
Ooh. Play-Doh is good.
I loved Play-Doh. I think it's transformed in my adult life to me loving slime. I watch so many TikToks of rating the scoopability of this week's slimes.
Yeah.
Do you know those videos?
I don't.
They're very niche. If you're on Slime Talk, you'll know. But I loved playing with Play-Doh. I love the smell of Play-Doh. It's very nostalgic. I love the
taste of Play-Doh.
My favorite Play-Doh accessories were like the ice cream shop Play-Doh, where you like pull the lever down and the Play-Doh comes
like
out into the And I love the Play-Doh ones where it's like a little thumb person with holes in the head, and it comes out as hair.
Squeeze the hat on and the hair comes out. Yeah. I do have fond memories of playing with Play-Doh and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the reason it didn't make my list is because once those colors were mixed, man.
And then it was brown.
And then it was all brown. And then it was all brown Play-Doh, where somebody leaves the lid off and it gets rock hard. Freaking hard.
I remember when Play-Doh would get stuck in the carpet and then it would get rock hard, and then you'd try to pick it out of the carpet fibers, and it was just like pulling a rock out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I loved Play-Doh. It's so fun. I love anything
Play-Doh
squishy. Play-Doh, clay, slime.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, according to TikTok, Raven and I both have autism, and I'm pretty sure that is a good sign because it's very sensory.
Yeah,
it's very like
I see so many things like at Michael's and Target in like the craft aisle of sensory bins.
Oh boy.
And it's just like a little plastic bin, and it's got like slime, beads, a little place for water, sand, and I want to buy them so bad. They're like $50.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm like, I feel like I can make this.
You probably can.
Like,
you can make most slimes and stuff at home.
I know.
Like
I want to so bad.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You know it's fun to touch, and I only know this because I made that Brazilian. Man, I wish I could remember. It's like pato. Pan de queijo. It's Brazilian Portuguese, so I'm lost in the woods here. But it's like cheesy bread. But they're like
Yeah.
little things. If you ever been to Fogo de Chao or like a Brazilian steakhouse, sometimes they'll serve them and they're so good. But you use tapioca flour to make it. Tapioca flour has a fun texture. It's good. It's good stuff. Noises?
I thought Jessica, she's not in here, so I thought she was. I remember in like 4th grade, whenever our parents got divorced, I was in like a thing with the guidance counselor for like emotional support, and it was just like me and her, Miss Salmon. She's the one who called me Raisin in 4th grade, and then everybody called me Raisin.
Way to go.
But me and Miss Salmon would sit in this room and she would just like do activities with me. And one of them one time was we read the Dr. Seuss book where there's oobleck. And then we made oobleck. And it was like this big goopy bowl of slime. And I loved it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Miss Salmon ever helping me.
Did you go to school with Miss Salmon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Dad made me go see her.
I remember her being very gray.
Oh, I remember
like
her more as beige.
Okay.
More of a beige. More of a taupe.
She was very like covered in baby powder is how I like picture her in my head. Like her hair had baby powder, her skin had baby powder.
Probably.
She smelled like baby powder.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Miss Salmon.
I'm not sorry. You fucking called me Raisin.
I'm not sorry. Fuck you. Hilarious.
I got made fun of until like 8th grade for that.
And still will. All right. My number 5 favorite toy, and this is a deep cut, gang. Like I could have gone in so many interesting ways. I could have said Beyblades but I was a little too old for Beyblades, but I fucking loved them. But that's not what this pick is. This pick is a deep cut. It's a very cheap toy. It's the kind of thing you might find, I don't know, like in a goodie bag, or like maybe if you're lucky, it would be a great goodie bag, or maybe in like a treasure chest that you would get at the dentist or something, and it's not a toothbrush. It's the Aqua Mini Water Ring Game. Raven is frozen in space. She's having a Mitch McConnell moment.
I know. I can see it in my mind's eye. Is it the thing? It's like a plastic rectangle.
Yeah, and they had buttons, and you push the buttons, and
the
it
rings
shoots
go
little
up.
jets of air.
I can't believe that's on your list.
Rings onto the little spikes and stuff like that, and it would just, you would push the little buttons, and the little rings would just travel.
Wow!
Oh my god, they were so much fun. So they're sometimes called waterfall ring toss.
Okay.
Like waterfall, but also like wonderful waterfall.
Oh wow!
Waterfall ring toss.
That's insane.
Manufactured by Tomy, Tomy,
mm-hmm.
back in the 1970s. Plastic handheld tanks filled with water. Inside the small tank-like game would be a ring toss or a ball toss, and you would control the game with a button or two. And there were all different kinds. There were basketball ones and soccer ones where you had to shoot a little ball into a hoop or something. But I just remember them super fondly, and I just had a great time with them, and I love them so much.
Wow, what an interesting pick.
It's like such a simple toy, and like it's not like I had one at home, I think, and like really like played for it a lot, but like I can't think of a single negative thing about that game. I just remember it being fun and like being hyper fixated, again, potentially autistic, and like sitting there for like a good while trying to win the game and like beat it and get it all done and then dump it out and try again or whatever, and like it was just a great fun little thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cute.
Because a lot of my toys kind of fall into the same categories. Like you could if I just put action figures, it's like, okay, there's like half of the toys I played with as a kid probably.
Yeah.
Or like sports toys. Mm-hmm. Done. So I was really trying to think outside the box.
Fair.
So we're trying to have fun, you know?
Okay.
So water ring toss games.
Cute.
I freaking love them. So yeah, that's my number 5.
You know what's not categorized as a toy, but I feel like is something we both loved growing up?
What?
Trampolines.
Oh yeah. Trampolines were good.
Yeah. I always loved jumping on a trampoline.
Trampolines were a lot of fun. Yeah.
I remember having a trampoline at Mom's house.
Yep.
And then at one point in time, there being like a little blow up pool.
Oh yeah.
And like jumping from the trampoline into the blow up pool.
Yeah.
And it
was more than a blow up pool. It was like a above ground. Like it was a little legit. It wasn't like in ground by any means. We never had that kind of money.
No.
But it wasn't like I don't think that this particular pool was like necessarily a blow up pool, because that makes it sound like it's like only 2 feet off the ground.
No, it was high. It was like waist high, but it was like you poked it and it was squishy. It wasn't like the hard back above ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember. But I remember for a while I was obsessed with those little plastic I don't even know what you call them. Little plastic things that had scented goo in the middle. And you would squeeze the goo out into water, baths or whatever, and it was just like scented. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'll show you when
Not
we're
even
done
a
with
little
this. And I'm hoping you'll remember, and I used to make the pool scented like lavender and stuff.
Wow. It sounds like something you would do.
Yeah.
Considering you were the kid who would make potions, is what Raven would call them, making potions, where whether it was the bathtub and like mixing together all the soaps and shampoos and conditioners into one concoction, or at restaurants would do it with like the creamer and the salt and the sugar and all and the pepper and all at the table, guys, in public. It was so embarrassing.
It was fun. It's still fun. I love making potions.
But even as a kid, I was like, God, this is so embarrassing. Raven, stop making your stupid potions. You're embarrassing me. Like, I just hated it so much.
I loved it. Anytime I can mix shit together, I love it.
And now you're on slime talk.
I'm going to make slime pretty soon. I'm excited. Okay. My next one is Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Love Beanie Babies. Loved collecting them. We had a huge amount of Beanie Babies back in the day.
Can I just join in on this fun and let you know that my number 4, Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies. They're so good. I loved getting all different ones. Like, I remember some of my favorites, and like I loved this like gold orange turtle I had one time.
Oh yeah.
That our cousin Joey ripped the tag off at a wedding.
And we were a tag family.
Yeah, we were keep the tag on.
We were a tag family.
Yeah.
We had the ways to work it out of the ear if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That way you could put it back in later. Or we had the little cases that would go, the little heart-shaped cases that would go over and protect the tag. We were a tag family.
Yeah. And he ripped the tag off, and I remember being so hurt by that.
You were devastated.
And I remember crying. Like, I remember that feeling vividly.
For hours.
Yeah.
For hours.
I couldn't believe he did that.
Like, you would be in a good mood again and then look down at your toy tagless and start crying again. Traumatized. Like, the PTSD was so instant.
I was so upset. I love that turtle. And I love all the different bears. Our mom likes the bears.
Loves the bears, wants to sell the bears, is upset that the pricing on the internet is confusing with the bears.
Because one person will post a bear on Etsy for $50,000, and then she's mom like, and dad both think that it's worth $50,000. Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not
But
true.
I did go on the website for BB Toys.
Okay.
You see, and I where it
is that like who makes it or something, or
no. I think it's just a toy website.
Okay.
But it has like a zillion Beanie Babies, and I sorted them from highest price to lowest price.
Mm-hmm.
The highest price one on this website,
they're
tied, are TY Beanie Baby Alvin and the Chipmunks Alvin.
Dumb.
For $49.99. And
Garbage.
TY Beanie Baby 2006 Zodiac Dog Asia Pacific exclusive.
Whoa.
$49.99. But then there's one Aria the cat, which is like a gray, light gray, dark gray striped cat, which I definitely had.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
that one.
We had that. Yeah. I remember getting the Zodiac ones when they were coming out.
Yep. And there's a bunch of bears in here for $18.99.
Zodiac, and they were like, super fucking cool. I remember getting the rat was even cool. I remember getting the dragon was super sick.
Yep. There's the penguin. There's so many good ones. The tie-dye bear.
Yeah, I was also looking up different things. So first, a little fun fact. The 9 original Beanie Babies, let me go over this, in 1993. Well, Beanie Babies were first introduced in 1993 by Ty Warner at the World Toy Fair in New York City, New York.
Wow,
and then manufacturing began in 1994. So they're sold in Chicago, and they're about $5 each. So here are the 9 originals. Legs the Frog, Squealer the Pig, Spot the Dog, Flash the Dolphin, Splash the Whale, Chocolate the Moose, Patty the Platypus, Brownie the Bear, later named Cubby, and Pinchers the Lobster.
I definitely had Chocolate the Moose.
We definitely had the moose. We definitely had the lobster. We probably had all of them.
We definitely had legs.
Points. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's hard too because I don't know if we had Legs the Frog or we had a later frog.
I remember
because there's like multiples of a lot of animals and stuff like that. Like,
look at the anteater.
There's 2 or 3 different kinds of chameleons. We had the anteater one. Yeah. Here's why I know so much about, or why Beanie Babies made my list, is because I remember playing with them and playing pretend with them.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And me and a friend and anybody who's listening who lives in the Bayville, Berkeley area during my childhood and maybe went to high school with me or middle school or even elementary school, although he went to CBW, my friend Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland and I would videotape ourselves putting on battles with these Beanie Babies where we would pick 2 Beanie Babies and the camera would just be on our hands making them fight each other and coming up with power moves and stuff. Like I remember one of them, we had like a chameleon or a lizard that had like spikes on its back and it would roll up into a ball and
oh my God.
cut into somebody like a razor, like a table saw, or like all these different power moves that they would do and stuff. And it was so much fun. And we would have tournament brackets of like, okay, this person beat this person, so they move on. This person beat this person, so they move on. And it was just like so much fun.
I definitely played pretend with like elaborate love stories.
That's,
like the anteater would fall in love with Chocolate the Moose. And then they would have the orange tabby cat.
That's good though.
As their child.
That's fun though.
I loved it.
That's really fun.
We had a big box.
Babies were just great. We had so many. We fell asleep on them sometimes. Yeah. They were just so much fun. They were fun to collect. It was fun to be like, oh my God, a new one, or like, oh my God, I don't have this one.
Yeah.
And just like obsessed with them. They're so freaking cool. And yeah, there's a lot of different Beanie Babies that apparently are valuable, and it's so hard because like the pricing is so confusing. And not to mention, like, there is the different. It's the same with like, I mean, if you're not into like collectibles or like the idea of like selling things or that are old or whatever, then it may be new to you. But like, it is the idea of like, for example, I'll just, Pokemon cards had a resurgence during COVID or during quarantine, and a lot of people probably were like, oh my God, I have Charizard. I have the Charizard holographic card. Like, how is my Joe? Come on, babe, right in front of us. You're gonna lick yourself? Gross. I'm sure a lot of people were like, I have Charizard. Like, this is thousands of dollars. Like, hell yeah, I'll sell it right this second. Instead of giving it to my fucking slimy little cousin. Sorry, Joey. And I'm just kidding. That wasn't directed at you. That was funny. But what was I saying? But then there's like, is it a shadowless where like the picture doesn't have a shadow, or is it the first 100 that were printed and it's like all these different things, like it has to be like the first manufactured or whatever, and all these different things. Like, for example, one of the most prized and expensive Beanie Babies, according to several websites, because I looked at several websites, is the Princess Diana bear, which we have in a case. Now, here's the thing. we would have to figure out where it is in terms of production.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the 10th one made? Now we're looking at potentially $50,000. Was it the first one made? $500,000. Was it the 2000th made? $20. You know what I mean? Like,
but like,
it
who is
totally
giving
changes it.
Who would give us $500,000 for the first one?
It would either be like a museum, like you could probably sell it to a museum, or you could sell it to like a collector, like somebody who's disgustingly rich and pays stupid money for stupid things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
Look at Lamborghinis. They're all right. Like, they're not that good looking. I feel like Lamborghinis are whatever.
I don't like the look of any car that looks like that.
Exactly.
No.
But people pay. People are dumb. Have you ever seen... I've seen it on my TikTok every once in a while where somebody, like some really rich hoity-toity person is like, look at my watch. My watch is $500,000. And you look at it and you're like, that's a child's plaything. What are you talking about? That is the ugliest watch I've ever seen in my life.
That's the TikTok I accidentally reposted. You
could have told me that was $5 and I would have believed you.
Yeah.
Like... So there's just weird things about that, about cost and value and things of that nature. But yeah, because I was looking at this top 10 or top 20 list, and some of them, like the bat, the one that has the Velcro, where its wings touch together, that one's number 4 on the list. But again, it's like it has to be in perfect condition.
Yeah.
All the different things. Some of them had like tag errors, like there were typos.
Oh, yeah, stuff like that
money,
is always worth more money.
You get more money and all different kinds of stuff. The Millennium Bear, Valentino Bear. We had Valentino and Valentina. Hope Bear. It's a little bear that's like straight up on its knees praying.
Yeah.
We have that one. The Spiritual Tie Bending Bear is not only expensive but also rare. Sure it is.
Yeah.
All different kinds of stuff. Garcia Bear. We had that one. We have every single one of these. It's insane.
Yeah. We're a Beanie Baby family.
We're a Beanie Baby family.
They have the original
We're big
Squishmallows.
into it. Yeah, they're fun. They're just fun. I love a Beanie Baby. But yeah, that's Very also good. My number 4.
Okay. You want me to do my number 3 now?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 3 is the 1996 Barbie styling head.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this?
I do.
It's just a head with like shoulders, and it like cuts off at the top of the chest. It's like a bust. Yeah. And it's just a Barbie head, and she's got this long blonde hair. And I loved it so much because you could do its makeup, you could do its hair. I love doing makeup and hair, especially when it's on someone who I can't hurt, so I can like hold her. I can like rip her hair apart and like hold her head upside down and like do everything I needed to do. I love doing her makeup. I mean, Mommy would let us do her hair. Like, she always talks about that, how, like, me and all our cousins would each have a section of her head to do.
And they would look very different. And she would walk away damp with fucking detangling spray.
Yep, like L'Oreal Kids Detangler.
Yeah, the ones that look like fish.
Yes,
like the
they have a big eye.
Like animals. Yeah.
And they smell very strongly of fake pear, fake apple.
Oh, God, yeah. I miss it.
I love it so much. But I loved that styling head.
That's a good one.
It was so fun. I loved doing hair, putting sparkles, putting paint in her hair. Like, it was so, I loved it.
Yeah. No, that's a great one. That was fun.
I did love Barbie. What also almost made my list was a toy that I don't even know if I had, but like I have a strong memory of seeing it like in Toys R Us or KB Toys in the mall.
Oh man, remember KB Toys?
Yes.
Whoa.
And it was like I think it was a holiday Barbie, like a Christmas Barbie or a New Year's Barbie, and she was in this giant box, and she was wearing like a deep red sparkly ball gown, and she had like this big like poof collar, like snowy collar, and she just looked like a beautiful snow Christmas princess, and I loved her so much, and she was so beautiful.
Not familiar to me.
It does or doesn't?
It does not sound familiar to me.
And I don't know if I ever had her, which is why she didn't make the list. I know I had the styling head.
I remember you getting into Barbies and all that kind of stuff, and I'm gonna be 100 with you guys. I'm gonna be 100 with you, gang. I always am. I loved them.
Barbies?
I would take them away from you sometimes because I was like, you're not fucking doing it right. Like, you're not using all of the little tiny... I was obsessed with, like, the little tiny parts. Like, all of the things. Like, I remember you had a Pocahontas scent, and you could hang the fish over a fire. You know what I mean?
Yes,
where it was like it had like the two twigs and one twig would go over the other ones, and then the fish had little hooks that you could hang the fish over the fire. And I was like, you're not doing it right. You're playing with Barbies wrong.
Yes.
I will show you how to do it.
It is the 2002 Mattel Holiday Celebration Barbie.
Beautiful.
Here's the photo.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Right? Stunning.
Doesn't seem like something you would have gotten, though.
I probably didn't. I probably just wanted her so badly in the store and then didn't get her. But, oh my God, she's beautiful. Look it up. She's on sale for $37.50 from Amazon. Yeah, but the Barbie styling head, which you can still buy, I loved.
Yeah, it was great.
It was my precursor to dressupgames.com.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, before I got into computers and stuff.
Yeah.
And me and Tony would go on dressupgames.com and just play a million dress-up games where I would do hair and makeup and nails and outfits.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then slowly, like, The Sims came out, and you were like,
yes,
character creation is my favorite part.
Now it's The Sims, yeah.
That's so funny. Okay. That's a good one, though. That's your number 3?
Yep.
Okay. My number 3, we dip into some of my sports background, my athletic fucking prowess with the 1991 Vortex from Nerf. You don't know what I just say the word Vortex. And you don't know what toy I'm talking about?
No.
Wow, gang.
What is it? It's not it's just a Nerf gun?
It's okay. Wow. Let's go back. In the early 80s, Nerf... No, I'm kidding.
My God, please.
No, it's like a football that has a tail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Come on. The
you
Vortex,
throw it and it spins?
The way that a football is supposed to, but it does it for you because it has a tail on one end.
Got it.
And the best ones were the howlers, the ones that had whistle holes in it, so that when you threw it, it would be like... And it would whistle as you threw it, and it was so freaking cool.
Cute.
Yeah, the whole thing about it. So, again, it comes out in 1991. The screaming football called the Vortex debuted. For the first time, children, yes, children, could hurl a football the same distance as quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh my God.
Former Broncos quarterback and member of the NFL Hall of Fame, John Elway, acted as the primary spokesman for the Vortex.
Wow.
And they would do commercials where like a kid would walk up to John Elway or like Dan Marino or something and just be like, I can throw it as far as you can. And he would... And it's like, granted, it's made of foam.
Yeah.
And it has a tail on it, so it always travels perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a lot of times, kids, you would rip the tail and then it's instantly ruined because you would grab it by the tail and throw it that way. As opposed to holding it like a football and throwing it that way. Man.
Wow.
What a blast. That was so much fun. And I just remember playing catch all the time and just loving playing catch. I love stuff like that. Like, I have such fond memories of doing that with Dad in the front yard.
I have memories of doing that too. Whenever like you weren't there, or you would let me play, and Daddy would just throw the ball to me. And
you would let me play.
All my, because you never wanted me to play because you hated me. All my.
Excuse me, not true.
You would always hit me with stuff, and then I would cry. And
you were weak. You were weak. I was teaching you. It was so frustrating. I was like, all my friends are like, did you have a good snowball fight now that it snowed? And I'd be like, no, I can't play the snowball fights with Raven. If I hit her with powder, she cries and then I get in trouble. And then she cries more because I'm in trouble.
That's true. I always used to feel so bad. I would be so mad at you, and then Daddy would yell, and then I would immediately feel bad. What can I say? I'm very empathetic. Anyway, all my fond memories of playing catch or like kicking a ball around with Daddy in the front yard are when it was like cold out, and I remember like feeling the cold in my legs and like in my hands. Like by the time he was like, all right, it's getting dark, like let's head inside.
Yeah.
And just like that feeling of when you're cold in your bones and then you go into that house that has the heat on. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and you feel your body start to warm up like that. All my memories of doing that are in the cold.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember
and it was always so
little,
fun.
Little kid in that house, and like after it, like when it was cold out and stuff, and you would be outside for a while in the snow, like with our giant snow pants and snowsuits and stuff. And then come inside, you take it off right by the door, and then like some of your clothing is still wet because like maybe it like the snow got into your boots or something, and like so the sweatpants that you were wearing underneath like are cold at the bottom or something or whatever. And then you take a shower or a bath or whatever, and then we would come down, and then you would get in front of the fireplace.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was the best.
So good.
Yeah. It's so nice to have a fireplace.
I know, I miss it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
So that was my number 3, I think. Vortex? Yeah, number 3 was Vortex. All right, so you're on your number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is Easy Bake Oven.
Ooh. Solid pick, Ray.
Loved
Solid pick.
The Easy Bake Oven. And the number one reason I loved the Easy Bake Oven is because I got to mix stuff together. AKA make potions.
Yeah.
And then
are a little alchemist.
You put them, like, you get like all these random ingredients, and then you like mix them together in the teeny tiny bowl with the teeny tiny plastic spoon, and then stick it in the little oven, and it would come out, and it would just be this like
little light bulb.
Not great mini teeny tiny brownie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved it so much.
It was great. Yeah.
It was so fun. Nothing was like delicious that came out of it, and I still to this day I'm kind of mystified that it was like real food that was like essentially cooked with a light bulb. But
yeah, because the light bulb would get so hot.
Yeah.
Crazy. It is one of those things that, I look back on really fondly because I happened to grow up with a sister, so therefore I had access to an Easy Bake Oven. Otherwise, I wonder if I would have had access to it or had the audacity to challenge the gender norms and ask for one instead of one of those dumbass fucking, which I think I had one, those like creepy crawly things where you would make those, or like the Shrink-a-Dink.
Shrink-a-Dink. I remember that, and it stunk.
Garbage. Those things are garbage. But now I'm thinking of something else that maybe should have made my list because of the hours that I spent making it, but it's not on my list. Do you remember those those pegboard things?
Yes.
Yeah, you already know.
They're still for
those
sale.
Little pegboard things.
They're called something specific, and I can't think of it, but they're still for sale at Michael's.
And stick them together and stuff. Yeah. Oh my God.
They were fun. You could spend so much time, and then all someone has to do is bump the table with their hip, and the whole thing goes flying, and you want to like be that woman from the Desperate Housewives show who flips the table. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But I remember spending so much time doing that. But okay. Easy Bake Oven is a great pick.
It was so fun.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
It was evolutionary to be like 6 years old and be allowed to like bake stuff and eat it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Frick yeah. That's amazing. That's a really good one. Okay. Olive is so vocal in her snoring.
She's a grandpa.
I know.
She reminds me of Grandpa Stu from the Rugrats.
Oh.
Who just sleeps on
that's a loud
the
snore.
recliner.
That's her for sure. So, in the 1970s, here's my number 2. In the 1970s, Japan starts a TV show that is called Super Sentai. I believe it's in the 1970s. And Super Sentai is more so a meta-series media franchise kind of thing, television series and films made by Toei Company, Toei Company, and Bandai, and all this different stuff. And it was super popular, and it was amazing. So then America gets on board, and they're like, let's do some of that. So they start a TV show, and at first they're thinking maybe we'll call it Dino Rangers. But thank God they changed the name to Power Rangers. And my number 2 is Power Ranger toys. I was obsessed. I loved Power Rangers so much. And I had all of the different things. I had the action figures of the characters. I had the like small child-sized versions of their weapons. I had the White Rangers, like he had like a dagger or like a sword or something like that had the head of a white tiger on the hilt of the sword, or like it would be called the pommel of the. Because I play D&D, I know the names of sword parts. Believe it or not, it's so weird. The pommel of the sword or whatever was a tiger head, and it would talk. Mm-hmm. And I had the Zords, which are like the big machine dinosaurs and stuff that they went through. And then I remember like with the next Power Rangers that came out, which was the movie, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie with Ivan Ooze. And that's when they changed a couple of the Power Rangers and they changed their Zords.
Okay.
So I remember because the Black Power Ranger got a frog and he was so bummed. And like everyone's like, oh, sick. A gorilla. Oh, a wolf. Hell yeah. Oh, mine's a tiger. And he's like, I'm a frog. And like this like beautiful like supermodel druidic lady who's wearing like literally a bikini made out of leaves comes over and is like, Zachary, what is wrong? And he's like, I'm a frog. She's like, no. You have the heart of a frog. And it like tries to console.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
That's rough. Poor guy.
It's really funny. Yeah. But I remember loving it so much. It was so good. And they would always battle separately, and then the Zords would combine to form the Megazord or whatever. And I had all the toys, and it was just freaking great. And pretty much it was just incredible. Like, they just had so many toys, and like my dad still keeps all of the boxes. Like, they're opened, but they're like folded flat, and we just have all those boxes. So if for some reason somebody's like, listen, I can't find it in the box still unsealed, I guess I'll take a really folded up box. And this toy that's missing a finger or whatever. But like, whatever. Better than nothing, I guess.
Did you know there was a Power Ranger murder scandal?
Yeah, with the Red Ranger.
Was it?
I think so.
Okay. I thought it was an extra that was in like a few of the episodes. I don't know. My favorite murder did an episode about it, and it was some guy who was in some of the episodes. He might have been a ranger. I thought he was an extra, but he like murdered some people, and he was in the show, and you could see him in episodes, I think, which is wild.
Yeah.
Are you finding it? Is it the Red Ranger?
Well, Ricardo Medina Jr., an actor who played one of the Power Rangers in the kids' television series, pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter for stabbing his roommate to death with a sword.
That's him.
Yeah.
With a Zord?
A sword.
Oh.
Imagine if he had a mechanized, gigantic T-Rex. Wild. Yeah,
crazy.
No, that is crazy. Also, fun fact, did you know that in the original Power... I don't know if they still do this, but like in the original Power Rangers, like the first seasons, all of those fight scenes where they're fighting like the goons or like the silly bad guys, where they're wearing their masks and you can't see who they are, those are just taken from the Japanese show. Like, those aren't even them.
Yeah, that feels on brand for America.
It does. Yeah. It's very colonial. Very colonial and imperialist of you.
I don't know if this is a real memory that I'm having or if I made it up in my head, but I feel like I have a strong memory of us in the front room of our house where the carpet was green and the couches were brown, but also floral.
I'm with you.
And you were watching Power Rangers on the little box TV.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to put on Tybo, and you wouldn't put on Tybo because the Power Rangers was on, and I cried.
That sounds about right.
I feel like remember that
sounds right.
really strongly.
Because there's only so much I could do Tybo. But you loved Tybo. And so did I, to be fair. I liked Tybo too, but you wanted to watch it on repeat like it was a TV show. And I was like, enough is enough.
Tybo's like an exercise tape, I think.
Double time! Just like, enough is enough. I can't fucking Tybo anymore. If we have like really, I don't think we do, but if we have like really young listeners, they're going to be like, what the hell is Tybo?
It's like an exercise tape. I don't know. I don't even know if it was on TV.
Billy Banks, who would always get the sweatiest ever, and a team full of people in their workout videos.
I loved them. I loved Tybo. I remember it. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Amazing. We'll have to do another episode that's just like fond memories of the 90s and early 2000s. The 90s, early
2000s are truly unmatched.
They're very good.
I can't speak for any other decade because I wasn't alive.
Yeah,
but they really are truly unmatched.
I wasn't there during the 70s, but garbage.
No, the 70s had all the serial killers. They can't be better than the 90s and the 2000s.
Crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Are you ready for
So that's my number 2, Power Rangers.
Very good. I would have been surprised. I'm surprised they're not your number 1, actually.
Oh, my number 1 is my number 1. And
okay.
you'll, as soon as I say it, you'll go,
okay.
You'll do one of these.
I will. Okay, are you ready for my number 1? I don't know if you'll remember this. There were a lot of things that I tossed up with being my number 1 because I did love Bratz dolls for a long time. Me and my elementary school best friend Jenna, I would go to her house and we would go into her finished basement and we would always play with Bratz dolls.
Yeah.
And I always loved Jade.
Okay.
The black-haired one. Even though I had red hair.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be the red-haired character. I think her name was Megan.
You hated that. You hated when you and Tony and whoever else would play
Taylor.
Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
And you'd be forced to be Dylan, aka
yes.
Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
You would be furious.
I was furious because Dylan dated Tom Green. And I didn't want to be the one who dated Tom Green, who in the movie...
What's the thing he says?
Was it the Chad or something? It wasn't the Chad.
Was it the Chad?
I don't even know what the Chad is. I think that's his name. I think he talks in the third person in that movie. But I didn't want to be her. And I always had to be her because I had red hair. And I hated it.
Oh, getting
so
typecast.
Yeah, so I always wanted to be Alex who had black hair, but I couldn't because Taylor had to be Alex because she had black hair. And then when we played with Bratz, I was always able to be Jade. So I loved her. And I loved Mycene dolls.
Mycene dolls, runner-up.
I loved the Mycene. They came out with movies. Mycene movies. Loved them. Mycene Masquerade Madness. So good. I loved Littlest Pet Shop. Remember that? I would collect the little pets.
Yes.
That was also a runner-up.
I remember that.
But this toy, when I got it, I was so stoked. I remember being at school and all I could think about was like, I can't wait to go home and play with it. I can't wait to go home and play with it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Oh my God. It's the Dream Life console game. I will show you a picture.
Dream Life console
and
game.
I'm hoping it will bring up
and if you're watching
memories.
If you're watching the YouTube version of this podcast,
does that bring up any memories? It was this little console thing that you would hook up to your TV, and it was like this blue and green like circle thing, and it came with a little remote and maybe like a DVD or something, and you hooked it up to your TV and you would like turn the TV to channel 3 and it would put the game on, and it is, let me read to you what Wikipedia describes it as. It is a dedicated console life simulation game targeted at girls between the ages of 8 to 14, released in 2005. It's a game where players create a girl character ranging from hair to clothes. They also determine how smart, funny, athletic, creative, or outgoing the girl character is. You buy clothes, you make a best friend who also has to be a girl. They wrote that in parentheses.
Yeah, of course.
You go to school, You decide what grades your person gets. You decorate her bedroom. You can do makeovers. You can earn money by doing chores. It was essentially 2005 Sims for 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
But only for girls.
Only for girls.
You had to be a girl. There were no boy characters in the game.
Of course not.
I loved it so much. It was so fun to just like, it's the same reason I love The Sims now.
Yeah.
I just love making a character and making them do whatever I want them to do.
Yep.
And making a cute room. And it was so fun. I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
No, I totally get that. I don't remember that at all.
I played it a lot at Mommy's house. When my room was in the back of the hallway. Mm-hmm. That's when I played it the most.
Okay.
Remember when we used to switch rooms all the time? The three of us?
Yeah.
There were 3 bedrooms, and then we would just switch rooms.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah.
Because we would, like, fully switch and, like, paint the walls and do all kinds of stuff and get new comforters to match the things. That's probably why you have a comforter addiction.
I do have a comforter addiction.
But, yeah, anyway. That's a good one. I genuinely don't remember that at all. That's so crazy. I loved it. But, hell yeah.
It's my favorite toy.
Awesome.
It was the best.
Yeah,
the girlies will know.
Makes me think of a game that I played when I was much younger. That's not on my list, but called Pico.
I was too young for Pico.
Pico was dope. Pico, you could plug in, you could play different games, and it was like a gaming console that you would plug into the TV and everything, like literally like any other gaming console, but it was specifically for like little kids games and educational games and stuff like that. And I did
a lot of that on the computer.
Playing it so freaking much and loving it.
Yeah.
But all right.
Excuse me.
My number 1 favorite toy as a kid was Legos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Legos are incredible. This line of plastic construction toys that are manufactured by the Lego Group, a privately held company based in Billund, Denmark. Lego consists of various colored interlocking plastic bricks. And then it goes into some hardcore details about what it's made out of. And it's plastic, guys. Who cares? But yeah, I just love Legos. I loved Legos as a kid. I was obsessed with them all the time. I used to... Did you ever do this where you would almost like hang out with specific friends because you were in the vibe to play with certain toys and they had them and you didn't?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, if I wanted to play Bratz, I went to Jenna's house.
Yeah, if I wanted to play with Legos that I didn't currently have, Nick Panel's house.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play cool video games that I didn't own, I would go across the street to Matt Mergener's house. And he was older than me, and he did not like that. But his dad forced him to hang out with me because his dad was good people.
That's so funny.
I was way younger. Way younger. I was like 2 years younger, 1 year younger, but still. Yeah, I just freaking love Legos. I like, some people are like way into Legos, like more than I am. But like, I love them so much. I remember building them with Dad a lot. I remember one specifically that really comes to mind is this old school submarine that we built. And it was this submarine, and it had little arms that had little claws on it where, like, the submarine would pick things up and, you know, stuff like that. And then all the different little, like, castle sets, and I got the Lego Movie Maker thing.
I remember that.
And that really, you know, look at me today when you're watching this YouTube. Thank you, Lego Movie Maker. And I know that that's a big thing for Zach Cornfield from Try Guys. He references that a lot in his like inspiration of becoming a filmmaker kind of thing. Not that I'm trying to be a filmmaker necessarily, but like I dabble. I've always had this dream to do the whole like Lego City thing, like have a dedicated room, like be one of those guys and have like a dedicated room that's full of every single like Lego possible piece ever.
There's a woman on TikTok who has this. I watch her videos all the time, and almost every video is her responding to a question like, do you have blah blah in your Lego city? And she'll walk down the stairs to go into her Lego city, and like the one I most recently watched was like, do you have a taco stand in your Lego city? And she's like, do I have a taco stand? And she runs down the stairs and then like hunts through the city and then finds the taco stand. Like she's got everything in the Lego city.
That's insane.
It's awesome.
I saw a TikTok recently where somebody had a Lego city thing built and then they unleashed a bunch of water and made a flood. And like it destroyed the city. And it was like he did it on purpose.
Wow.
I thought that was wild.
This is not relevant, but do you know the person on TikTok who has the eel pool in his basement?
I'm familiar. It's popped up once or twice. I don't follow them regularly.
It's just like a foot tall, like his basement is just filled with like a foot of water all around, and he's got like stepping stones so he can walk around, and there's just eels everywhere.
Yeah, it's a weird. That'd be a red flag for me.
It's weird.
If someone was like, I'm trying to think of any time that somebody would say, "Do you want to go into you want to check out my basement?" Without telling me what's down there already. Instantly, I'm like, all right, Zodiac Killer. I know. Bye.
Like the episode of,
no, thank you.
The episode of Seinfeld where Elaine dates Joe Davola, and in his apartment, he's like, do you want to go into my dark room? And she's like, dark room? I'm a day person.
Dark room. I'm a day person. That's so funny.
Oh, man. Anyway, Legos.
I love them so much. And, like, it just sucks because they're freaking expensive. I would still buy them just for fun. Like, I don't have nowhere to put them or anything, but I would buy them just to have them.
Lego?
Like, just to build them would be so much fun. I keep pointing to it, but according to TikTok, I have autism. And you look at something like Legos and how much I would genuinely, at 32 years old, folks, I would love to put together some Legos and spend hours mindlessly following instructions. I'm also a big instructions follower. Give me a piece of IKEA furniture. Hey, as long as I got all the pieces, no problem. I'll put it together. But I'm an instructions follower, so I need all the pieces. I need to make sure everything's there, and then we're going to get going.
Lego has done an interesting pivot as we've gotten older, where some of their products are now, I feel like, catered very much to our age. Like their series of floral arrangements.
Oh, where they have like the more intense ones. Yeah,
they have like flowers, like whole like bouquets of flowers that you can do, and I love it. I think it's very smart. Because I see so many people on TikTok who buy them, make them, and then like add them to their like shelves, and they look so cool. Like there's like orchids, there's like a dried flower arrangement that could be like a table setting, like.
It's really
I
cool.
would love to buy one. It's just like every time I go to Target or something and I see the Legos, like I'll look and be like, maybe I'll get a Lego thing I'll do this weekend. And then it's like $75. And I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Like
they're so expensive.
Please. Why is it so expensive?
It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, Legos are my number one.
Though.
I love them so much. It's legitimately just so
There's
much
a
fun.
Legoland in New Jersey. We should go.
We should go. Although
I've never been to Legoland.
I don't even know what there is there.
I don't know. It'd be cool to see it.
It depends.
If you've been to Legoland, let us know.
There. Yeah. What do you think about Legoland? But that being said, what do you think about this episode? What are your favorite toys? What did you think about our favorite toys? What era did you grow up in, and what toys did you play with? I know that's a lot of that depends on parents. It depends on maybe your parents' income and stuff, and like what kind of toys you had to play with and stuff. Like we never had an in-ground pool. You know what our pool was half the time? A sprinkler.
Yeah, we were a big sprinkler
You put that sprinkler
family.
on top of the trampoline. Now you're having a good time.
Yes.
Now you're having a good time.
Yep.
So, let us know. You can email us, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. You can also follow, subscribe, and do all of the things with all of the things that we're on, like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And follow us, Hessy and Maven, one word. Excuse me. That being said, the last thing I will say is that at the time that this podcast episode comes out, the next day the video should come out, and the day before, a video game, Hessy and Maven Gaming, a specific playlist on our YouTube. For the month of August, I have decided to do fun facts. So each video will be me playing a video game as I talk about some fun facts about a particular topic. And for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be doing fun facts that are specifically about the topic of the podcast. So like, again, at the time that this would have come out, the day before yesterday, I would have put out a video about fun facts about toys. So check it out. You know, if you like video games, if you like fun facts, you're going to get both. Who doesn't
like fun facts?
Fun facts are great. Fun facts are so fun. I really do love them.
Yeah.
Maybe we... but then how am I going to do a fun fact video about fun facts? Interesting. The funnest of fun facts. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of Hessy and Maven. Tune in next time where we talk about something else.
Bye.
Bye.